Hello, I'm recording myself explaining how we can change the bibliography format from manual to auto in Overleaf or Latex. My name is Somayeh Mohammady and I'm a lecturer from Technological University, Dublin. So I have an example open here. This is the paper by my student. So the way that the list of references or bibliography is done is based on the bib item format. So we have each of the references referred as labels, and throughout the text they are referred manually. What do I mean by manually? Let's take a look at here. Um, For example, on the top, I hope I'm not revealing too much from this particular article. So, for example, here, the way that reference number 4 or reference number 5 and so on is referred inside the text is kind of by using the brackets and number inside. So it is not using the site as you would put site and then curly bracket, and inside you would refer to a particular reference. So this way I'm calling it manual. The other way has a benefit which I'm going to explain in a second, and I'm going to show how we can convert this system, this technique, to the a little bit automatic system, which is handy in case you want to reuse your list or some of your references in the future or your next article. So this would be another example which is using the auto system. I am calling it auto system. It probably has a fancy name, but I'm not really professional in this stuff, so I'm just calling it out. So you can refer at the end of your paper, you can refer to your bibliography and you can refer to the list of references, and this is going to pick the list from the file that you have created. On the left side of the screen, as you can see, I have a file called reflist. Sorry for my language, reflist.bib or bib. So if you click on that, you're going to have a big list of references which I always keep handy, and it might have 10 times more than what you're using in your paper, but this is like, a big list of references that I always have, and if I am working on relevant topics, I can use it again. The way that it is done is based on this format, and it is slightly different the way that you would do when I was explaining the other manual format. So we want to end up having this list, and as I explained, it is handy because then you just copy this file into your new paper document, and then you can just refer to those that are relevant to your work. And by having the bibliography list, the format will be added to the list of references at the end of your article. So let's start changing that. So I'm just going back down to the list of references that I have here. I'm just going to pick one of them. So let's pick the first one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find that on IEEE Explore. Sometimes if you search the entire article, it would be very difficult to find. So what you can do is you just pick the title and search it based on that. So I am looking at some references that are here, but it looks like that I have to search a little bit better, and in this case I'm just going to Google that. All right, so um, all right, this is a bit confusing. Okay, here I found I'm just double checking the authors and the dates. Is this the same paper? So we are looking at 2019 article. It might seem a lot of work at this stage, but believe me, you do it once and then you are going to reuse it again. So it is really worth the hard work for a start. So it is 2019, that's true. Let's check the authors. The authors are, yeah, perfect. So this is the file, this is the source. So the way that we normally do is we download the PDF, we read the paper, and if we find some parts that are relevant to our work, we use that. So by clicking on the PDF, you can have access to the full paper. When you're happy and you want to refer to that work, you click on Cite This, and then IEEE is giving you some options, what kind of reference you prefer to have. So normally, the way that's in a manual way you would do is you just copy that. For the part that we are going to do, we are going to use the bibtex format. So you just copy that and you go here, and one more step. I'm just going to create one file here. I'm going to call it reflist.bib, and then you can see that this file is created. When you click on that, there is this plain page available for you. I'm going to click here for paste, and then I end up with my very first reference here. So this number here is going to be the label that you can call inside your text. So it is handy to put something useful and memorable. So based on this paper, I am looking at the waveform of the 5G for IoT. So I'm just going to use this as a label. I will always remember that. So I'm just going to call it waveform. And then the year that it was published was 2019. So I'm happy with that. Now, this can be a label. I'm just copying that. I go back inside my text. So this was the text, and the very first time that that reference was introduced is here. So instead of this manual writing, I'm just going to put cite, and as you can see, it's automatically picked up. All right, so this part looks good. When I compile it, I'm going to have something coming up here. All right, as you can see, it has question mark because that list is not being recalled at the end of the body. So I am going to temporarily create this. So we have a funny format right now because this is still in place, but let's just, I'm just checking if this one is same as the one that I created, ref list. Yeah, perfect. Now let's take a look at that. Okay, so the question mark is replaced with number 1. Now at the end of the paper, yep, just ignore the second one. So that is the beautiful list of reference added. I'm really happy with this format because, as you can see, the italic text and everything looks just perfect. So I hope this short video helps. I'm just going to repeat the process one more time. Let's go with number 2. Number 2 from the bib item. So it is not IEEE, if I'm not mistaken, it's a journal, International Journal of da. So I'm just going to Google that. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, this Ramadan, let me check the name. Yeah, should be this. Okay, so this is the journal that my student is referring. So I wonder if I can have access to the. Okay, this is actually a good example because we are going to enter the format kind of one by one because it doesn't have the IEEE format ready for us. But it's a good example actually. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to my ref list. I am going to have that copied. So what is this? This is looking at comparison of waveforms. So I'm just going to use that for the label. It's handy to mention the year because who knows, maybe in 10 years time you're not interested into referring to this paper anymore. All right, so I'm just going to change it a tiny bit to make it look the way that I'm familiar myself. So the author, list of authors. So this has a single author. I'm going to use the single author format. All right, placing that. And the name of the journal. The name of the journal is Journal of International Journal of. Okay. Or it's going to put International Journal. Journal. Is that the full name? Okay. It has online publications also. So I'm just going to use that for the URL. Do we have URL here? We don't have. If you like, you can add URL all the time. So that would be it. There we go. And one single comma. Now the title. should be taken from the original paper, and just make sure that you are putting everything in its proper way. The year of publication is 2020. I'm just going to put that here. Do we have any information about the volume? If I'm not mistaken, that is the volume and that's page number. So the volume is 2 and the page number is, there we go, and we don't have any number, and the URL is given about DOI. That is the DOI. I'm just putting that here. Okay, I'm just going to check that once I don't have any format error. Yeah, looks okay. Now I'm just going to use that label to refer inside my text, and inside my text it will be the second reference that I have used. That was the number 1, and this is the number 2. Number 2 has come here. Alright, so instead of that, I'm just going to use site, and inside the site, I'm just going to use my second reference. When I recompile, so as you can see, that's in place. Let's take a look at the result. Alright, beautiful reference is added. Yeah, I hope everyone finds this video useful. Thank you.